meet you. And thank you so much for allowing me to get a part of your time today. It was short-handed with one advisor. I'm so sorry.
I didn't realize it. Yeah.
I'm sorry.
Yeah,
But
that's okay.
thank
It's
you.
not your
Thank
fault.
you.
Yeah.
Thank you so much.
Sure.
Before we get started, I'd like to tell you a little bit about myself so
Okay.
you'll get an understanding of where I'm coming from.
Okay.
Currently, right now, I love working with I love working with people.
Sure.
I'm a very cooperative. I like to collaborate with a lot of people, and I like to work with math. In a way, that's where I'm leaning towards. I was thinking of leaning towards that around with accounting and hopefully my finance and around that area. I did a job shadowing and it intrigued my interest a lot. And right now, like it's given this opportunity, I wanted to interview someone in that kind of field again, and especially from a college perspective. And being an advisor, financial advisor in college, it's another opportunity for me to learn more about the field that I want to go into.
Sure.
And I'd like to start with asking you, where were you at and how were the things were with you at my age, and how did you find out, or how did you know that you wanted to go into this road trip for yourself and get into this position that you are now?
Oh, that's a good question. At your age, I did not have any idea of what I was doing. I actually didn't return to school till I was about 31. And then I still didn't realize that I was going to do financial aid as a career. I started out doing a program at TCC called Human Services, which was sort of grounded in counseling. So I was kind of knowing that I wanted to work with human beings in some aspect of counseling or guiding or helping them, in some aspect of their life. And so, and I had worked as a work study student in the advising center, and then when that job ended, there was a job available in financial aid, a part-time job that I applied for and got. And so then they knew me because I worked close to them, and so they were used to seeing me there. And so I got hired, and that's really where sort of this kind of love for financial aid came about. And what financial aid is that's so great is a combination of working with students and working with numbers. And so if you enjoy working with people, because I know some positions in accounting may not have as much human interaction, but if you enjoy working with people and numbers, this is a really good medium because you get kind of the best of both worlds in terms of that. There are other factors like policy. It's policy driven, so that can be troublesome or struggle sometimes when you might be having to break someone's heart that the funding is not available, or they're not eligible for something. So that can be a struggle. But other than that, the combination of working with numbers and people makes this a great profession. Yeah.
Thank you. Was there any time in your life where your family hindered you from getting where you are now, or the perspective of your friends, family, your loved ones changed because of the job or position that you've received now or getting here?
Yeah, that's great. There was definitely times where, I was a single parent, so when my kids were young, I said I knew that I wouldn't be able to really, because I didn't have a lot of help, so I knew that I wouldn't be able to focus on academics. So I made the choice to work for a long time. And by the time my kids were about 10, 11, 12, sort of getting to a place where they can, maybe take care of themselves or have a little less supervision, I decided, okay, I think now is probably the time that I need to embark on school, not only for myself, but to set an example for my kids. I want to make sure that they become educated. That's important to me, and so I decided to go back to school. But that balance of a balancing act of working and going to school and trying to raise a family was really a struggle. I think there were times when I was working all day, going to school at night, and I would come home, and they would look at me like, who are you? Because,
Oh.
you know, you look kind of like an alien. We don't really know who you are. Like, you know, I mean, you know, and it feels, it's a terrible feeling, but you kind of plug away knowing that you're doing the right thing and that there's an end to this. It's not, you know, but the balance and the setting of the boundaries is difficult. I had to set the boundaries right then and there. Like, don't forget who I am. I am your mom. I am watching you. I am the disciplinarian. I am going to make sure you're doing, you know, your homework and doing what you need to do. So, but it was a little bit of a struggle because, you know, I was not around as much as I wanted to be. So yeah, it's always, and it still is. It's still a balancing act. I mean, I just finished school in the spring, all the way up until that time. You know, every time that I had school going on in my life, family and school was a balance, and I struggle. I try not to feel guilty for the time that I don't spend with my family because I'm focused on academics, knowing that in the long run it is a benefit to everyone, not just me but my entire family. Doing all of those things and recognizing it's okay to do that and not listen to or allow yourself to feel guilty about that or beat yourself up about that is really important.
Okay. Thank you. Thank you so much.
Yeah.
Thank you. I will never
Yeah.
stop saying thank you. Thank you for
Yeah.
giving me
Oh, you're
the time of
welcome.
your